So, tonight I'm going to talk to you about business credit, what that looks like, and why it would be helpful for business owners. And I'm not going to say that it is for everyone, so I'll get into that. There are definitely things you have to consider before taking that road. So, all right. So, hey y'all, my name is Tracy. I am CEO of Creative Vault HQ, which is a business to business that I serve other businesses with needs like teaching how to design, teaching websites, and how to manage your own website. And tonight we're diving into adding business credit. Um, I want to preface this by saying that this this conversation I want to preface this conversation with the facts that I am not a lawyer. I am not an accountant. Okay. I am just an entrepreneur. I have two LLCs that has built five figures of business credits without using my social security number. I have even qualified for a car loan to be in my business name with no money down and not being backed with my social security number. And I didn't even have to go into the dealership, right? I converse with the sales rep entirely via email. And that's what I want y'all to know about this whole journey. We'll get into that because I have notes and I tend to get ahead of myself. We're not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to stick to my notes so everything will make sense. Okay. Um, I was also granted a five-figure credit line with a creditor that most of you all use, which is Amazon. Now, tell me how five figures in credit with Amazon could help you in your business. And I did it in my business name. Okay. So these accomplishments came by way of me structuring my business correctly, following the steps in order by way of me structuring it, and not trying to skip steps or take shortcuts. I also want to say that this business credit journey is not for everyone. I don't know everyone's passions nor goals. This is for you to decide. But if you know what you'd like to achieve with your business, if your vision is clear, if the goals are clear, then this journey would be for you. Entering the business credit journey is a big flex for your business. Sure, you could go out right now and get an Amex card in your business name using your EIN, personally guaranteeing it with your personal credit, right? Here's a reason why I would encourage you to wait on that and do it in a specific order, okay? If you present your business to a major credit card right now, you may qualify for approximately $4,000, which is a lot. You can do a lot with $4,000. You can buy a couple printers, right? But with the business credit journey, if you were to build out your business and appear with reputable credit bureaus for businesses and gain a credit score for your business, it could mean the difference between qualifying for four figures or five figures of business credit. Which one would you prefer? Because if you apply with your personal, when you apply for Amex, for instance, with your personal credit, right? It's only going to show on your personal credit because your business is either a DBA or you haven't even started structuring the foundation for your business to get a credit score. So that's why I said that's the difference between qualifying for four figures or five figures. Which one sounds better, right? So That is where I'm starting this conversation. This journey is not for everyone, and I even have to tell my own community this is definitely a flex because not everybody's doing it. A lot of people who's teaching it only just go over the surface saying you need this, you need that, you need this. But I dive deep. I want to ensure that my community gets the foundation that I show them how to get there and walk with them hand in hand, not just glazing over it, right? All right. So, with that said, how many of you have ever said, I need equipment, I need inventory? Drop a one. If you've ever made any of these statements, I need equipment, I need more inventory, I need a commercial printer. And here's my favorite one. Here's my favorite one. I could be further ahead in my business if only I had a little bit more money. Let me say it again. Because guess how I know this. Guess how I know. I would be further ahead in my business if only I had a little bit more money. One. Right. Yes. Now, what I want you to think about right now, if a lender looked at your business today, would they consider it a business or would they consider it a hobby? Which one? One, if you feel confident enough that your business would be considered a legitimate and reputable business, or two, maybe your foundation is a little funny, maybe it's a little rocky, or maybe it's just a hobby. If it's just a hobby, then log off right now, sis. This live ain't for you. If your business is just a hobby and you don't have any plans or goals for it, just go ahead and log off. This definitely is not the live for you. Definitely not. All right. So if you hesitate to answer that question, then this course is for you. This course may also be for you if after I'm done presenting this information to you, you find that you're treating it more of like a hobby than you realize. And that's okay. That is okay. If you feel like it's legitimate, sometimes when we know better, we do better, right? Sometimes when we know better, we do better. And I hope that during this live, you will have some things answered that will help you take a step back and look at how you're treating your business and how in really realizing if it's structured properly. Okay. So let's talk about what makes a business look legit. Do you have an LLC or is it a sole proprietorship, aka DBA? Do you have an LLC or is it a sole proprietorship? Do you have an EIN or are you using your social security number? And you can do that, but IRS takes that too. They're like, you gotta run that business under a DBA, under your social security number, that's fine. Do you have an address listed for your business other than your home address? Now, I don't want to say that everything I talk about is the way it's got to be. There are some successful home businesses. I just have an issue with, even if you have a home business, I want to give you something to think about. I personally have an issue with broadcasting where I lay my head at night. I personally have an issue broadcasting, and that's not even to say you might be doing it inadvertently. When you send someone a package and that shipping label your home address, has your home address, you're broadcasting you're broadcasting it, right? So I personally have an issue with a business who has their personal address as their business address, because everybody's not saved. Everybody don't mean well in the world, even though we like for them to do that. They don't. And there's other ways to have a successful home business, but not have your personal address on Front Street. Okay. Do you have a professional email that doesn't end in at Yahoo, at Gmail, at AOL, at iCloud? Do you have a professional email that ends in your business's name.com? Do you have a website? Do you have a business bank account? All of these things that I mentioned doesn't negate that, doesn't negate you qualifying for funding, but a lot of vendors do expect it. Okay. That's what we call being fundable. Is your business fundable? If you went into the bank right now, could you actually are you going to go in there with business documents, or are you just going to go in there and flip flops and just hand them your ID and I want to put this in a business name? All right. Let me start at the top. So I want to talk that we're going to continue with making your business look legit. So again, the difference between a sole proprietorship and an LLC. I want you to understand your own journey in your business, because I don't know where everyone is going and within their business. I do not know everyone's, goals for your business. And I honestly, while I don't mind chit chatting to you about it, I don't have the capacity to retain all of my community's goals. I don't. I can barely remember yesterday. Joking, but not. Okay. So you have to keep in mind what you find your journey to be, right? And the difference between a sole proprietorship, aka DBA, and your business being an LLC, right? A sole proprietorship refers to your business if you're operating with a DBA or nothing at all. Even if you didn't file a DBA, you're a sole proprietor, right? But if you're clearing your goals, and the goal is to expand either to a brick and mortar or expand a product line, you'll want to have an LLC. You can't build business credit with a DBA. Just like I talked about the Amex, you can go and apply for Amex. I've applied with a business account with a prior business, went straight to Amex and got 2 business credit cards. Yes, I did. In my EIN. Backed it with my social security number. Yes, I did. But remember what I said. If you structure your business properly and build business credit, that can mean the difference between that $3,000 credit limit that I had, or 10, 20, 30. If you have business credit, okay? So if you look at your personal credit and then business credit, they work the same. Although business credit is a little bit more forgiving and easier to get. With both, you have to spend money and prove that you're capable of paying it back. So that's another reason why I say that this journey may not be for everyone. Because just like you have to spend money to make money within your business, most times, not saying all the time, because you could start without spending a lot of money, but you have to spend money with other vendors, creditors, and stuff like that to show that you are responsible with money and you pay your bills on time. These creditors want to know that in order to um, report a favorable score to the business side. So just like you build business or credit in your personal name, you have to do the same in the business side. You have to spend money, pay those bills back on time so that those vendors can report to the business credit bureaus. Works the same way. Not everybody has the money, but I'm telling you now, you have to spend money to show that you are capable of, you know, paying it back, right? But I have some easy vendors for you to work with. I do, I do, I do. Ha! I do, I do, I do. Okay. So again, if you're clearing your business goals and the goal is to either expand to a brick and mortar or expand a product line, you'll want to get an LLC. And having an LLC, right? It separates the personal side from the business. And I want to share my personal goals with you. And this will help to give you a clear vision as to why I say have a vision for your business before you venture into this journey. And I've already told my community about this is that my vision for myself, I always look at the glass as half full. Okay. Once I start looking at the glass half empty, then shut it down. Tracy, stick a fork in there, she's done. Right. But I always look at the glass as half full. There's always where there's God, there's a will, there's a way. Right. And so I always believe that today is not will not dictate tomorrow, right? So my vision for my business is to have properties and it's to have I would love I don't know why. Maybe it's my love for cars. I love vehicles. I love cars. That's why me and my youngest son we share that. Um, I want to rent cars, y'all. So that's another stream of income that I'd like to have. And then to do that, so that is my personal goal, is to have that added stream of income and have properties in my business name. hmm You can do that. Okay. To do that, though, I have to make my business look fundable like nobody's business. Okay. And so I have to structure it properly. I have to make sure there's no holes, no valleys for them to say, oh, wait a minute, what's that? Okay. So, with my own vision, houses and vehicles, those are called assets, right? Assets. When you have assets in a business name, you want to keep them separated from your personal life. Okay. The only way that you can do that is by having an LLC. An LLC separates the business and the entity from the personal side. So, case in point, if you have a DBA and you have a business vehicle that you deliver with, you deliver things to your clients, whatever the case, you might deliver for Amazon. Maybe you got a side hustle and a contract with Amazon, you deliver for them. And you let little Susie use your vehicle to run to the mall. And she crashed the vehicle and she unalived somebody. Yes, worst case scenario, but it's the best one to get you to understand why LLC is important. If she unalive somebody, they're coming after you for everything you got, right? What's gonna happen when someone affects someone else's family member? I'm suing the heck out of you. I'm coming for everything. Get my lawyer. What she got, right? If you have a DBA, all of your assets are in your name. There's no separation. So they could come get all my houses, all my vehicles, and liquidate them, and I have nothing. Airbnbs. I have nothing. I would love an Airbnb. That'd be so dope. So I have nothing if everything is under my DBA, right? But if I have an LLC and I acquire these properties and these vehicles, an LLC can hold all of those assets. And then when they come to sue me about little Susie unaliving somebody, right, in this crash, I know I hate even saying it. I'm sorry. But they don't know about my business, right? So they don't know I have all these assets. When they come and look at me, I'm like, I have nothing. I got $5. I mean, y'all know I have $5. They'll probably come and get all my little personal bank accounts, take everything out of there, but they may not know about Tracy's business. And I've already talked to my community about an extra level of security with that. An LLC can own another LLC. And the LLC can own another LLC. That's just a whole nother conversation. But for the sake of this example, what I'm trying to get to you is that if you only operate with a DBA, if you only operate with a DBA, sorry, that's something on me. If you only operate with a DBA, then they can, if an unfortunate event occurs, you can be sued and all of your assets taken. That's equipment, that's vehicles, that's homes, whatever you have. So the point of having an LLC is to build business credit, but also to separate your liabilities. Okay. Okay. I don't know what just happened to our computer. All right. So I got a lot of people talking about that what they'd like to have. So hold on, y'all. I do have notes again because I'm trying to stay focused. Okay. So this conversation is basically leading to my new business credit course called Access Granted. In this course, I will be teaching you how to get your LLC, EIN. I'm going to tell you all the steps you need to get to build business credit, right? I'm going to tell you the steps. And I'm also going to tell you how to get there and in what order. And order matters because one step affects the next step. It really does. One step will affect the next step. Also, in my community in Creative Vault Elite, they're actually going to get these steps earlier than the official launch date of August because another thing to keep in mind is that once they see what the steps are and in what order you have to take it, you might have to backtrack a little bit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so thirsty. You might have to backtrack a little bit to correct some things. In my last business credit course, people had to backtrack. They had to go back to um, the government. They'd go back to the government and correct some things before they could proceed. And everyone's journey in this business credit avenue is going to be different because not everybody can move at the same pace. Not everybody will have the funds at the same time to pay off these creditors. So, as much as I'm going to guide you, but I have to tell you what to do and then let you take those steps because, like I said, I can't. This is not creating in Canva. This is not where we can all create at the same time. This is you looking at your own situation and seeing where there might be holes that you need to fill, where you may need to backtrack and correct some things before proceeding to the next level. And there will be checkpoints at which when you start taking these steps, there will be checkpoints that says, have you done this, that, and the third? If you have not, do not proceed. I'm so serious. Let me run it back. I have 2 LLCs that I have successfully built 5 figures in credit with using my EIN only. Pop my ish. Because there have been people who got the same information that I did and still didn't do it right. And my chapter 5 doesn't look like their chapter 5 because they try to skip steps. They try to take shortcuts. While business credit is easier to obtain than personal credit, you have to follow the steps and in order. I also have, I don't know if y'all can see this. I also have, let me take off my thing here, a business fundability scorecard. A business fundability scorecard. And on this, let me share it with my people who's on Zoom. Okay. You will get this, a business fundability scorecard. And if you are not in my Credit Vault Elite group and you want this, you let me know. I'll put it up there for $1. I'll put it up there for $1. Okay. The business fundability scorecard. And what this does is it asks you questions and it's about your structure. I have an LLC. Do you have an LLC or no? I have an EIN. Is your business in good standing with the state? So I ask you questions and then you score yourself to find out how fundable your business looks right now, or do you need to go back and change some things? Okay. So I am dropping that for my community in Creative Vault Elite. And if you're not amongst the elites, what are we doing? If you're not amongst the elite, what are we doing? All right. So the reason why I'm going through all this because people don't understand that your business is being judged. Okay, when you go in to a bank, even on a personal level, if you go into a bank and say, I need a personal loan, they want you to bring your firstborn child, all your business to the bank, right? So whether you realize it or not, every business leaves clues, and those clues tell lenders, are you organized? Are you gonna go in there fumbling papers, or are you gonna have a nice little black binder and you're gonna look? What do you want me to see? My EIN. Here you go. What else you need to see? Here's my LLC papers. Here you go. Okay. Are you consistent? Do you understand business? Are you trustworthy? And are you prepared to handle money? Again, we're not going into the bank off Jump Street. Again, it goes in steps, it goes in tiers. But once you get there, that you're already going to show them a portfolio of the fact that you are trustworthy with money, because you're going to have a history backed by your good business credit that you can be trusted with money and you will pay it back. So I also want you to think, like, imagine walking into Shark Tank and you tell the investors that I have a great idea. And they ask, well, what's your website? What are your financials? They ask all the questions, right? They are they are tough in the Shark Tank. I love the Shark Tank. But they ask you, what's your revenue? You got to know all this stuff. You can't go in there and be like, I don't know. And this all comes by even looking at your back end in Shopify or whatever website platform you look at. You have to look at your own analytics and be able to give them this information. And that's how you show that you're credible and you're a fundable business, by being organized, by knowing your numbers, by knowing your credit score, right? Because if you go in there saying, I don't have these yet or I don't know, then they're probably not going to invest, and the banks probably will feel the same way, right? So here's where most creatives go wrong. We focus on making beautiful products. We love our websites to look amazing. We have beautiful logos, beautiful packaging. We focus on the aesthetics. But very few of us spend time making our business beautiful. Your business structure should be just as polished as your products, should be just as polished as your website and that logo, the social media pages. And again, that's the flex. That's where a lot of people fall short because they don't know. And this is what I prided myself on the first time I taught this. Because a lot of people, when I say, does your business have business credit? They're like, huh? How do I do that? Ooh, okay. All right. I also want to ask you all, I also, ooh, Cheryl, you need a website, girlfriend. You need a website. You sleeping on money. You sleeping on money, honey. You could be making money in your sleep if you sell bracelets with a website. Because your website's displaying your products when you're sleeping. How many of these sound familiar? My business money goes into my personal account. You've come to the right place because I do websites. I'm working on my girl Tracy's next. My business money goes into my personal account. I use Cash App for most of my sales. I don't keep books or records. I don't know what my sales are. I can't tell you what last month's sales are. I can't tell you what last quarter sales are. I don't have a business email. I've seen some successful businesses with Gmail's account, but I have dropped some grant funding in my community in the Creative Vault Elite, and they want you to. One of them wants you to have a professional email. So they want to give away free money, but they was like, "You got a Gmail? You got a Yahoo? People still do that? AOL? You can You want me to give you $10,000 in grants, and you can't even have a my business at such and such.com. Even the grant people want you to have a professional email, let alone a bank. Huh? My LLC address and website don't match. I haven't checked if my information is consistent everywhere online. I don't know what lenders look. Listen, I cannot wait to dive into this. I cannot wait to dive into this because there's so many gems as so many business owners are not privy to. It's crazy. Building business credit is definitely a mindset shift. Stop asking, how do I get funding? When the real question is, how do I become fundable? Those are two completely different questions where funding is an event and fundability is a foundation. And foundations are built before the house. Amen. Amen. So, when we dive into Access Granted, which is my business credit course, my community, I do have a community. It's called Creative Vault Elite. They get this business credit course. You can join the community, which is now $89 a month. $89 a month for new people. Or you can get the class, which is $499. I will tell you that my community has already said, and this is why it's $89 a month, because my community members have already said the value that they get superseded what I was charging at the time. But I also knew I was growing the community. But this module alone, business credit, where you can work up to 5 figures in business. If I had all my cards, I got a stack of cards like this from vendors that I built 5 figures of business credit just using my EIN and having the proper structure for my businesses. Businesses, put an ES on my name. I would never teach this if I didn't walk the walk. I'm not one of those people. If I've never done it, someone asked me if I teach how to get grants. I could tell you the grant said all you gotta do is answer a few questions. I don't get into grant writing, right? I'm not even going to pretend that I know how to do certain things when I've never walked the walk. I'm not that type of person. I don't even have the bandwidth to do that. If I've never walked the walk, I'm not going to ask ChatGPT to teach me how to teach grant writing. I don't know. I'm not doing that. I will tell you about a few grants that all you got to do is enter your name, your email address, your business name, and it's real simple. They're already in my community dashboard. And I could probably guarantee that they haven't applied to any of them yet. I have. Free money? Why have we not jumped at that? But when we get into the business credit module, your mindset is definitely going to shift because what's going to happen is you will definitely need to work on your your posture when it comes to your business. You will need to work on your posture. And that means that you're going to have to sit up straight, stretch that back out, and talk like you've never talked before about your business. This is a whole nother level, a whole nother layer. And why should we not? Because we're trying to get funded. So when you venture into this arena, you are going to be projecting. When you talk to the business credit bureaus, you're going to project your earnings, right? They're going to ask, how much do you earn? How many employees do you have? You're going to be projecting it. And it's not against the law to project. Uh-oh. So a message was retracted. I hope it's not nothing bad. You are going to have to project. And what that means is the credit bureaus are going to ask, what? How much do you make? How many employees do you have? And you are going to sit up tall and say 6 figures. Yes, you are. And people, I haven't had any of my students have a problem with that because once I explain to them, it's not illegal to do. What do school systems do every year? They project so that they know how much money they can ask for from the government. Do you not think that these big box corporations project sales for the following year? Because guess what? With those projections, now you have to figure out the map on how to get there, correct? Right? So if I say in 2027, I project that I am going to be a $200,000 business, is that absurd? Absolutely not. My industry shows that people can absolutely have 6 figures in profits. It's not absurd. I just now have to say, how am I going to get there? When I talk to that dealership on the phone, y'all, this was so fun, and I wish I had recorded myself doing it. I wish I had recorded myself doing it. When I talked to that dealership on the phone, well, actually, I reached out via email. I never went in. What happens when you buy a new car? You go into the dealership, you look, you spend time looking for a vehicle. Then you sit and you find a vehicle that you like, you test drive it, you like it, you've decided on it. Now you're sitting in there for hours because they're running your application with this, that, and the third, right? Hours. Okay. Check this out. That's what I said. This is the vehicle I want. I want this, the year, make, and model. I even gave them the stock number from their car lot from the website. I want this vehicle. This is after my business has been structured properly and has a credit score now. Okay. I want this car. This is the stock number. Okay, Miss Carter, why don't you come on in? Not, nope. Pause. This is all via email. Pause. I don't have time. I'm busy. I got meetings upon meetings. Meanwhile, I'm sitting right here. I have meetings upon meetings. I am very busy. And so this is what I need you to do. I need this car. It's going in my business name. It is I'm not putting any money down and I'm not putting my personal social security number on it. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. I was in a community. This is where I learned every coach has a coach, right? Every coach has a coach, and I've been down this road, right? I was in a community where they say actually down payments are illegal. I don't know the truth about it, and I'm not even going to tell you whether it's true or not. I can't even say it. But what I will say is, in that same group were some sales reps for car dealerships, and they said they've never seen a play like that. Not mine personally, but they've never seen anyone come in there and just sign paperwork and just leave, and no money down and no PG. It's a foreign language to them. It's a foreign language to them. But here's what I like to say: just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? Let me put you on game. Just because you don't know it can happen doesn't mean it can't happen. You just don't know about it, right? So I told this gentleman, I want this car. I'm not coming in unless it's to sign paperwork. I'm not putting any money down, and I'm not putting my social security number on this, right? He sent me an application for the car. It was a personal application. And I said, "Can you send me the business application, please? And thank you." Again, sit up high, put them shoulders up. When you know better, you do better. I asked for a business. Oh, I'm sorry. This says it's asking for my social security number. I'm gonna need the business application, please. Send that over. And he did. And he did. And I just put my EIN on there. And then I even told him what banks I want to finance the vehicle. Okay. So when you know better, you do better. This was for, I remember specifically, it was for Chevy Traverse. And they tried to call me and they tried to get me to come in over and over and over again. And I said, "I'm busy, sir. Does your dealership want a sale or not? I could go somewhere else. I can even have a vehicle shipped to me. Do you want it or not?" The next email, I kid you not, was, "Okay, Miss Carter, you could come down. When would you like to schedule to come down to sign this paperwork?" Huh? So I mean, y'all have to think like a big box retail store. Stop downsizing your business and your brain. When you embark on this business credit journey, please do not minimize, hold on, your business. Do not minimize your business. When you embark on this business credit journey, again, my official launch for the business credit journey, which is called Access Granted, is in August. My membership, biz, look at y'all. Don't get me. Creative Vault Elite is active now, and you can get in and get this information early, like they will. And the membership is $89 a month. But the business credit part isn't all that they get, right? It's not all that they get. I teach them website management, social media, marketing. We're actually touching a lot of the business side of it. We get into AI, but we also are going to doing the creative side too. But a lot of my members at the moment need the business side of it. So that's what the focal point is. I give them what they need right now. We'll get into the fun stuff too, but they're getting what they need: social media marketing, website management, email marketing, content creation, business credit, classes in there also for designing in Canva. Photoshop will come soon. AI, how to use AI not only for designing, but to help you do projections for your business, right? So, Creative Vault Elite membership, if you wish to get all of that and the business credit side, it is $89 a month. It is $89 a month. I have receipts. My members love it so far. They said it. I meet with them weekly, except for this month because I do have to appear in someone else's group. They get, but they're still getting me for. Actually, no, wait, hold up. They're getting bonus classes this month. Hold on, I forgot how quickly I forget. One, two, three, four. Right, they get two bonus classes, so we're meeting on Sundays too, 7 p.m. And then I'm gonna be probably diving back into some more stuff on Monday with website stuff, designing, and maybe I think I'll leave it at that. I was about to say maybe business credit. This might be it. I might go live one more time about business credit. But if you want the deets, you want to get in on how to get your business funded, how to get it structured properly, um, you have to get in the room. So Creative Vault Elite has will be getting this course this month. A lot of it is pre-recorded again because I say everyone has to go at their own pace. It's not a we're locking arms and moving at the same time. It's impossible because not everybody is in the same place. Some people haven't even started. Some people have to go backwards in order to go forwards. Some people have to correct some things. It's the nature of the beast. But they're starting this month. Creative Vault Elite membership is $89 a month. You can get in at creativevaulthq.com. If you wish to just do the credit course, that is going to be $499 one time fee. And I will go live with you 8 weeks. I might even push it to 12, but I'm not even sure yet. 8 weeks. And like I said, the classes will be pre recorded because everybody goes at the same at a different time, right? The classes will be pre-recorded, but I will go live with you to answer questions. I will go live with you to answer questions. Also, with the $499, you can also use buy now, pay later. You could use like Klarna or whatever. Okay, so you could do that. If y'all have any questions, you can um, leave a comment with your question, or you can email me at Tracy at creativevaulthq.com. Tracy at Creative Vault, VAULTHQ headquarters.com. My professional email. Does anybody have any questions for me at the moment? Does anybody have any questions for me at the moment? This was just an informational session. Like I said, access granted will launch in August. Creative Vault Elite members will get it in July so that they can have a testimony for me before August even hits, right? Because my member success is my testimony. I could talk about myself all day and I could show you how many cars I have here, I have there, how many vendors and creditors I have. I could boost myself up all day long, but my goal is to have a success story in each of my members who decide to go down this avenue in their business. And that's what I look forward to, and being making sure that I teach them well. They gain the information they need, they gain any clarity they need, and they can move forward and also have the same testimony, and I can share their testimony. If you came in late, watch the video over again. If you have any questions, let me come and see on Zoom. Do we got any questions? No? She said I need it all. I'm here, girl. I'm listen, we gonna get it. Get it how you live it. Yes. All right. So does anybody my members are getting this fundability, business fundability. I can't talk. Business fundability scorecard. Does anybody need this? That's not in my membership. My members are getting it automatically. Does anybody need it that's not? I didn't even see that. I missed oh my gosh, I missed wait, hold on. Oh, that's not today. I was about to say I missed all kinds of conversations. You're welcome, Tracy. No? All right. So just stay tuned. I will be dropping some clues here and there. I have to put on my website, but I will have an interest form. So there are some people that tagged me on Instagram and said I'm interested in this course when it launches. So I'm emailing those who are interested. Let me look on my website real quick. Oh, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. I'm actually dropping access granted down $100. So I have it on my website right now. It's 5.99. I'm gonna drop it for 4.99. Again, with access granted, you're gonna get the thank you. You're gonna get the pre-recorded courses. You're gonna get the pre-recorded courses. What you can do right now, if you're interested in just the course and not the membership, so you can get in Creative Vault Elite membership at $89 a month. If you are interested in just access granted and you just want to pay for the business credit course, you'll get 8 weeks of me going live with you to answer questions. But you're going to have to this is a do it at your own pace type course. But I will go live with you for 8 weeks to answer any questions you may have. All right. After that, you will be able to answer questions. There will be a community right on the platform that I will host this course. There will be a community where you can ask questions. I don't like creating a bunch of Facebook groups, but if need be, I will. I do want to leave it open so that you can ask questions. I don't want to leave you hanging entirely. If you are interested in joining Just Access Granted course alone, not the membership with all the other goods and services, you can go to my website right now. The course shows as sold out. But what you can do is click a button. It says, please notify me when available. And that way you will get an email when this course launches. Okay, so go to creativevaulthq.com. Go to classes, click on access granted, and it shows sold out. But go to please, there's a button that says please notify me when available, and it'll prompt you to put in your email address so that you can be notified when it goes live. All right. So we're going to talk about proper business structure and the foundation. Remember, okay? Structure is built before the house. The bones go up first, then the rest of the siding and the walls and all the other stuff. We're going to talk about business credibility, how to build the business credit profiles, okay? And how to make our businesses fundable. It's going to be a whole flex. A whole flex when you can say your business has a business credit profile, good business credit, and you can use different cards. Like the cards that I have for my business are with people like Lowe's, Floor and Decor. These are places that you buy stuff from and you pay the bill so that it reports to your business credit. 5 figures without touching my social security number. Because if you go out there again trying to skip steps or cut corners and you go out there applying for every and anything and you're not following the roadmap that I have for my group, you're not following the roadmap and you go out here haphazardly just applying for stuff, you're going to mess up your personal credit because you're not doing it right. There's a strategy. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Y'all was just eating it up. And look, we still stay within the hour. So if there's no questions, I'm gonna bid y'all adieu. I'm gonna say goodnight. It is my birthday weekend and I am relaxing. Okay. For Creative Vault Elite, our next meeting isn't until July 12th. I almost feel like I'm going live in another group on July 9th, and that's why we're not meeting on our normal Thursdays. But I might have to do a pop-up somewhere next week. But I'm really taking this weekend off for my birthday. I need it. I want it. I need to relax. And it's hot. Birthday's on Sunday. So any questions? Thank you. Thank you so much. Both my Tracy's is on. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. I'm Tracy. We're gonna call ourselves the triple T's. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all off of here. Say good night. And of course, all my members, y'all can always message me if you got a question, if you got a concern, whatever it may be. I'm here for y'all. And y'all have a great night. Okay. Bye, YouTube.